aye.
Aye.
Very good. That concludes energy matters, I believe, for the day. We have one item that had been on consent. We moved it to the regular agenda, and it's item 14, the Expo line in Southern California. And I'm going to turn to Commissioner Simon. He would like to make some mention of that. Then we're going to go to, we have one legislative item, so Mr. Randolph, if you want to make sure that you're ready to discuss that when it comes up. But first I turn to Commissioner Simon on item 14. This would be under transportation and rail safety.
Thank you, President Peaving. I just want to say when this was moved from consent, I do not believe we had the foreseeability of a marathon meeting. So but this is an important decision, and I ask my colleagues' patience. In today's decision, we are approving a written settlement agreement entered into by the Exposition Metro Line Construction Authority, or Expo Authority, the Los Angeles Unified School District, LAUSD, and the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority, or LA Metro, that provides for a new crossing at Farmdale Avenue along the Expo Line rail transit line in Los Angeles County. This new line will connect into the county's existing transit system and serve points between downtown Los Angeles, the University of Southern California, and Culver City. For most of the route, the Expo line will travel along a now unused rail right-of-way in the center median of Exposition Boulevard. For those of you from Los Angeles, I believe that's what was the red line. Once construction is complete, the line will be turned over to the LA Metro for operations. The LA to Culver City project segment, subject to today's decision, is considered as Phase 1. A Phase 2 is planned for later that would continue the line from Culver City to Santa Monica. Expo Authority filed a series of 10 applications between December 2006 and May 2007 for authority to construct 38 rail crossings along the Phase 1 line. All 10 of the applications were protested. In Decision 07-12-029, the Commission authorized the construction of 36 of the 38 requested crossings. Both of the two remaining crossings at Harvard Boulevard and Farmdale Avenue are immediately adjacent to school sites. The Fauché Learning Center, a year-round K-12 facility of over 2,000 students, is at the Harvard Boulevard crossing, and Dorsey High School, with just under 2,000 students, is at the Farmdale Avenue. Both schools operate under the oversight of the Los Angeles Unified School District. These two crossings were addressed in Decision 09-02-031, and in that decision, the Commission approved the Harvard Boulevard crossing, but denied the proposed at-grade crossing at Farmdale Avenue at Dorsey High School. The decision also allowed Expo Authority to file amendments for the Farmdale crossing consistent with conditions outlined in the decision. Last July, Expo Authority amended its application for the Farmdale Avenue crossing. The amendment contained 4 different options for crossing design at Farmdale Avenue. Under the guidance of Administrative Law Judge Mary Beth Bushy, the parties initiated a series of settlement conferences to discuss these design options. The result of those discussions is the settlement agreement we have before us today. The agreement calls for an at-grade crossing at Farmdale Avenue for vehicular and pedestrian traffic, along with other extensive safety procedures and mechanisms. The agreement also calls for a rail station with near-side platforms on both sides of Farmdale Avenue. All trains approaching the crossing will stop at the station before entering the crossing, and upon leaving the station, all trains will proceed through the crossing at speeds of no more than 15 miles per hour. Expo Authority's initial application asked for an at-grade crossing at Farmdale, but did not include a station or for the trains to slow or stop before entering the crossing. Pursuant to the agreement, Expo Authority also will acquire property adjacent to Dorsey High School for a new parking space that will replace existing parking areas scheduled to be demolished in order to construct the stations. Upon completion of the new parking, Expo Authority will transfer the property to the school district. The Expo Line project in general and the Dorsey High School crossing in particular generated a heavy amount of public interest, to say the least. As noted earlier, all 10 applications were protested, and several other parties opposed Expo Authority's initial application for the Farmdale crossing. These parties included the school district as well as two neighborhood coalitions, the United Community Association, Inc., and Neighbors for Smart Rail. During the course of this proceeding, we held 3 pre-hearing conferences, several workshops, several days of evidentiary hearings, and 3 large, well-attended public participation hearings, 2 at Dorsey High School, 1 at the Fauché Learning Center. The total attendance of the 3 PPHs was well over 1,000 people, with oral and written testimony received from approximately 300 of those attending. All of the interested parties, including the Commission's CPSD staff, participated in the settlement discussions involving the Farmdale crossing. Though the neighborhood groups ultimately did not sign on to the settlement, I believe a key point in this entire process is that their participation and input, at the end of the day, made for a better result and a safer crossing at Dorsey High School. Several individuals and groups spent much time and effort in this proceeding, and in closing, I would like to thank all of them for their participation. Those individuals include Administrative Law Judge Meredith Bushy for her hard work and diligence in this proceeding, Administrative Law Judge, now retired, Ken Koss, who was previously assigned to this case, Marcus Nixon and Varuj Jimbachian from our Los Angeles Public Advisor's Office, who assisted with the public participation hearings, the Expo Authority and its chairman, LA City Councilman and former Speaker Herb Wesson, Jr., Executive Officer Rick Thorpe, and Lead Counsel Martin Matz, and of course the LA Unified School District and its Lead Counsel Michael Strumwasser, the staff of LA Metro, and community organizer Damian Goodman, who was the chair of the United Community Associations, Inc., Colleen and Laureen Heller from Neighbors for Smart Rail, and CPSD Staff Counsel Patrick Burge, Principal George Bartleson and staff from Dorsey High School, and the staff of the Fauché Learning Center. No, I'm not going to mention anyone else in this closing. But this was a very, very contentious proceeding, but I think the outcome is for the benefit of this wonderful community that borders Susan Miller Dorsey High School, and that now these children that attend Dorsey and the neighborhoods surrounding it will have access to the entire LA area as it expands its light rail, which, as we know, has enormous environmental benefits to the community. So with that said, I ask for my Commissioner's support.
So Commissioner Simon has moved item 14. Are there any questions or comments on this matter? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. That takes care of that. We have one other action item, that's